How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Screen Realm. My name is Guillermo, and today I'm reviewing the true story journalism drama She Said, focusing in on some of the journalists that played a key role in the takedown of Hollywood mogul and convicted sex offender Harvey Weinstein, whose long awaited downfall was a major stepping stone in the wide-encompassing Me Too movement. It's fair to say that She Said tackles a sensitive and ultra-timely topic. The film also aims to highlight the importance of investigative journalism and thus the overall role of the journalist in an era where the Fourth Estate has often been accused of delivering agenda-driven narratives and clear-cut political leanings. So clearly, She Said has the grounds to deliver a riveting gut punch of a film with a lot to say. While the outcome is a decent enough picture, one that makes its points clearly, respectfully, and as safely as possible, it doesn't quite reach the heights it could have. Director Maria Schrader, Unorthodox, I'm Your Man, and screenwriter Rebecca Lenkowitz, Disobedience, Ida, adapt a 2019 book by New York Times reporters Jodi Kantor and Twohey, played by Zoe Kazan and Carey Mulligan respectively. The story follows these journalists around 2017 as they strive to get victims and associates of Weinstein to speak on the record. Of course, convincing people to publicly announce that they were attacked or in any way aware of what Weinstein was up to was no easy task. Among the big names that were contacted by the reporters were Ashley Judd, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Rose McGowan. Judd herself appears in the film, playing herself. Covering months in Kantor and Twohey's journey, She Said plays out as a journalistic procedural, with a somewhat episodic structure as the journos unearth troubling accounts and continue to hit walls as the thought of speaking on the record scares off many. Seeing as most viewers will know, or at least have a pretty good idea of, where Weinstein ended up, it's up to Schrader and Lenkowitz to engross us in the journey. The destination is pretty clear after all. The investigation itself is depicted in straightforward fashion, a very familiar procedural formula that we've seen in journalism films such as Spotlight and All the King's Men, although I'd say that those films worked within the formula in a much more memorable way. And so audiences have a mostly comfy structure to follow as these journalists have far from comfy conversations with individuals that have faced horrible abuse. Topic-wise, it's no doubt troubling and of the moment, but film-wise, it's a somewhat plotting procedural that lacks energetic crescendos and borders on slightly repetitive as each new person comes into the picture. Now, while that approach may sound like a big negative for this writer, I didn't find that it made She Said a bad film per se. It does, however, in my opinion, hold it back from striking up the emotions and giving us much needed grit. As I mentioned, She Said takes the safest route to deliver its story, and that comes at a bit of a cost. The various conversations themselves do provide some emotional moments though, the accounts coming from a couple of victims in particular really working up the empathy, anger, and injustice that these journalists would have been partially fueled by. It's unfortunate though that a variety of these conversations have a stage play feel to them. Again, that's not a major no-no, but a more cinematic and creative approach to the narrative would have served dividends. Also, keeping Weinstein, or at least the character of Weinstein here, at arm's length works well for the most part. After all, the focus is on the investigation and on the victims, but then having little moments with him, such as a few audio slices on the phone, an in-person tease, feels a little bit tacked on. Perhaps removing those bits altogether may have made more of a point, or perhaps ramping up his presence would have helped paint a stronger picture. After all, it's that imposing, disgusting presence of him that's explained as at least a factor in how he maneuvered those around him, and what made it even more nerve-wracking for those considering speaking up. Thankfully, Kantor and Twohey are well-drawn characters, and they're much more than mere narrative movers. The screenplay does a good job depicting the frustration and the stress that can come with delving into such a case, and our two leads give strong performances that carry us along. You can feel Zoe Kazan and Carey Mulligan really immersing themselves in these roles. They're completely engaging as these journalists, and specifically women, that find themselves drawn into a deeply affecting investigation, one that also places them in the public eye. These two stars nail it. Another good touch, in my opinion, is painting these individuals as more than their jobs. They are mothers, they are partners, they have families. There's a solid supporting cast all around here with good performances of various sizes coming from Patricia Clarkson, Andre Braugher, Samantha Morton, and Jennifer Ely, among others. This particular story of investigative journalism is certainly one worth telling, and I'll stress that I didn't find that it was told badly, but it could have been so much more. She Said is straightforward and surprisingly simple in its approach, from direction to how the plot plays out. Nevertheless, it works on a conventional level, and it thankfully benefits greatly from strong performances by Kazan and Mulligan. I'm gonna give She Said 3 stars out of 5. That's my review. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have you seen the film? Let me know what you think. Agree with me, disagree with me. If you haven't seen the film, do you plan to? Yes, no, maybe? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay up to date with all things Screen Realm. Catch you soon.